Hello, Mixers! Welcome back to another episode of the Mixin Vixens. How's everyone doing today? I'm Emily, also known as Mill Nikon, and let's say hello to our other Vixens. We've got the lovely Rin Vapes.
Hi.
And we've got Jen the E-Juice Fairy. Hi, Jen.
How's everybody doing?
And we have JJ, also known as the Flavor Pro.
Hello.
And we are joined by two of our three judges right now. We've got Rick, Concrete River. Hey, Rick.
Hey, yeah, Kyle ruins everything. Everything that goes wrong today is Kyle's fault because he is not here currently to defend himself. So fuck you, Kyle.
We just blame Kyle. And then our guest judge for this
starting off really good with a fuck you right in the beginning.
And then we've got our guest judge for this month, Dave, also known as ID10T. How are you doing?
Well, I was doing fine, but now I'm panicking because I was counting on Kyle to do most of the talking since he's so good at that.
You're just going to have to be mean all on your own.
He takes care of most of the bullshit. Dave and I were just planning on sitting here and grunting out monosyllabic things. So
I can do monosyllabic things pretty well. It's all the rest of those syllables I don't know what to do with.
It's like, good. Next
Lies,
mix.
Dave. Dave, you have the most colorful, creative ways to describe things that are horrible. Come on.
It's going to be a 15-minute show without Kyle.
So we're going to just do this without him?
I don't know. We have a few minutes to wait on him. What else do we talk about? You guys want to talk about our how wonderful it was testing these things before you start diving into them?
Yeah.
What's your process to test these things, and how soon before the show do you put them together?
Well, my process is mostly I look in the judging time thing, see who hasn't posted a damn recipe, tag them, grunt about having to pick up flavors, use a wonderfully provided code from ECX to fill out what I need, and then mix them all at about the same time so they have at least the same kind of steep on them. I think I got the last missing flavor I needed on Monday, so I'm looking at about a week on the recipes.
Okay.
Yeah, then, I got them all in on Tuesday, so I needed two flavors, and they arrived, and I mixed them up Tuesday morning after they arrived Monday afternoon.
That's good.
And then I waited until today to try them, mostly not because I didn't want to try them sooner, but because I was busy with passion fruits.
What? That's a lot. You waited till today to try them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that thing so all that what? That you saw that?
So you complained about them before you tried them. That's lovely.
Yeah, I just thought it would be fun just to kind of stir up a little trouble.
No, it was, of course.
Yeah, the actual testing, I think it usually rolls around. I'm like, oh, that show is happening. So if I'm ahead of the ball, I start on Saturday night and kind of vape a couple through the morning and stuff, and then we meet and discuss our opinions. Occasionally, it's like a 2-hour cram session worth of testing, but they do all get tested at the same steep. So
cool.
That's good. That's a good amount of time, I think.
Are you vaping any one of the mixes tonight, or they all just were tested and set aside?
I'm currently vaping.
You don't have to tell us which one, because we don't want to know which one you're still vaping on.
No, because I like mint and not thinking about things, and so after I'm done testing, I usually just switch back to whatever boring ass mint mix I'm vaping.
Got it.
I think tonight it is more of a bottle of Wonder Flavors Double Mint at 5% and Favor Cool Menthol at 0.5%. So
5%.
5%?
You're nuts.
What?
That's a lot.
I like mint. I'm
Did
sorry.
you say 25%?
No, 5. And then cool menthol at 0.5 on top of that.
Okay. That sounds better.
I thought he said 5% cool menthol, and I was like, no, don't do that. You're gonna hurt yourself.
No, it's definitely like pretty goddamn minty, but like most of the time when I'm vaping and not testing something, I'm mostly trying to keep my anxiety levels in check so I don't strangle anybody. So I just dump a whole bunch of menthol and nicotine on things until everything gets better.
I mix to test eucalyptus strong mint. I did in Aware eucalyptus at 2%, menthol at 3% on top of that, with some VG, PG, and nicotine. Talk about blast you in the face.
I can't, like, if I have mint in something, like, it just needs to be a touch. Like, I can't handle a lot of mint in vapes.
Well, let me tell you, that eucalyptus will kick your ass.
Yeah, it's kind of just my go-to. Like, seriously, like, if I'm not doing something, I'm either, like, usually squonking or using a tank with, like, 6 milligram fucking just minty as all fuck shit. So I probably have a chemical dependency problem more than anything else, but it gets me through the day.
Yeah, whatever works, man.
Well, I'm still vaping the last of the 4 recipes that I tried, but I'm frantically trying to put new coils in there, other things. So if that tells you anything.
So we get to watch you at least vape one of these live.
I mean, yeah, 2 if you're real nice, since I've got some fresh coils here, but I hope you're not that nice because I don't want to.
He's saying he doesn't want to ruin his coils.
Yeah, I really don't want to.
Ouch.
So when you saw the recipes, what were your thoughts this week? Before mixing them.
Dave can go first here.
Well, when I saw, do I have to name the recipes? I mean, I saw one of the recipes. I thought that looks pretty solid, and I saw one of the recipes, and I thought that's a weird way to approach that, but I trust that person. And I saw another recipe. I had no idea what that was going to taste like, really. And then I saw another recipe, and I didn't think I was going to be able to vape it.
I know which one the last one was.
Were your judgments all pretty accurate?
No, not exactly.
Not exactly. I like that.
We can dig into the individual recipes, and there were a couple of surprises, but
when I first saw the recipes, I looked at that and I was like, oh, Dave is going to lose his goddamn mind. Like, it just kind of feels like trolling at this point with that recipe.
Yeah, it did. It did feel like trolling. Now, I'm a kind of a sucker for lemon bakeries, though, like just in general. Like, you take some bakery and you take some lemon and you make it halfway competent, and I'm just like, okay, that's good, you know? So to have 2 of those, it's like, are we trolling or are we pandering? What are we doing here? I don't know.
It was called taking the 2 best recipes I had of 3 worst recipes this month.
Did you just not have a good month? Is that what it is?
I can't taste anything. For me, the lemon cookie, I didn't get any of the cookie out of it. All I got was lemon. I can't taste any cream or frosting. The other one tasted like nothing but burnt sugar. So it was like, well, take your pick.
So you're basically just flying blind, sort of theory crafting everything and not really getting to taste and tweak it.
Pretty much.
That's hard to do.
I'm still swollen. My ears are still blocked. Everything's just a mess. Stupid allergies.
Well, hopefully next round it'll be better.
Maybe.
When you won't be here.
Yeah.
So lucky you.
Let's see how it goes.
What kind of allergies? Just like normal seasonal allergies?
Pretty much everything. I mean, my allergist when I was a teenager said, move to a new planet because you're allergic to everything on this one. So it's like, gee, thanks.
What you need is one of those space bubbles.
Pretty much. I need to live in a bubble.
A hamster ball.
Just put the tattoo gun in the hamster ball.
He chickened out. He's not even doing the phone thing with us.
Yeah, that's okay. He's a coward, and I hate him so much right now. That's fine.
Perhaps we should just get started.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys have an order you want to go in?
Yeah. So we kind of teased it a little bit, but I feel like if we're gonna spill some blood, we should spill some blood right out of the gates. Give the people what they want, you know.
Yeah, sure.
I like that philosophy.
So, Jennifer Winstead, the E-Juice Fairy, will you please tell us what the hell was going on with that recipe?
Oh, it was a yogurt. Hold on. I wasn't ready for you. I need to pull up that recipe? What on the show?
Yeah, on the show.
You know me, and I'm having the damn show running. Oh, and it's got a delay, so no, it's not up yet. Throw it in the chat, and I'll pull it up here.
It's up now. If you look.
I am looking. Oh, my stupid phone. Got it. It is up. So my recipe, I did a yogurt. I used cream fresh and the coconut and the ice cream to make it a creamy vanilla-ish yogurt type. And then I used the passion fruit, and it was supposed to be more of a passion fruit, like fruit on the bottom, blended in. The coconut gives it a little bit of a tropical vibe to it. And it's supposed to, the passion fruit is supposed to be like fresh passion fruit on the bottom, not like mixed into the yogurt. So that's it. That's what I was going for.
I feel like I need to walk that back because I feel like that was like my token moment of being mean, and I already feel like an asshole for saying all that.
Oh, come on.
No take backs. Come on, Rick.
You know, okay, you want to say something nice? You just said it was supposed to be like fruit on the bottom. I would call it more like fruit on the top because, you know, you get that passion fruit first, but the separation there was achieved. It's not a big muddled up mess. There is a clear layer going on.
And I think the other thing that I would say right off the bat is I don't even understand how this profile would work. So congratulations on attempting it. Because seriously, any of like the criticisms that I have about this recipe aren't down to the way it's actually constructed. I think it's more just some of the inherent limitations of the passion fruit flavor in vaping. So I do get some tartness, which I'm kind of looking for out of passion fruit, but I feel like the FA passion fruit, while it has like that kind of bright tartness, the Flavora passion fruit kind of backing up and trying to punch the flavor through, has like this weird green quality to it, kind of like Cap's passion fruit, but like a lot less pronounced. And for some reason, that flavor up against creams always gives me that really hard sort of like green, almost mango peel kind of edge without the pine notes. It's kind of hard to describe, but yeah, it just passion fruit with the flavorings that we have available just doesn't really click for me. And I think I kind of ran into this.
Stop closing your eyes when you're talking shit. You can do it with your eyes open.
No, I can't. That's the entire thing. No, I can't.
I feel like there are 3 recipes in the running for this thing to win, and there's 1 recipe that's just disqualified, and not last, just disqualified, and it's this one. And it's because I could hardly even force myself to vape it. Not because of the way it tastes, but because it's harsh as hell. It was like,
oh, your wimpy throat can't handle it.
Have you tried it?
No,
I have. I've ate all of it.
No, Emily, have you tried it? Because you may change your mind if you do.
Kyle's out here in these streets talking about his iron throat, and we were on it with him when he fucking tried it, and like you got a cough out of Kyle on it.
Kyle coughed.
Yeah.
Is there really anything else that we need to say besides Kyle coughed?
So do you all have sensitivity to FA passion fruit, or is it just this one in particular?
I can vape it.
Passion fruit.
I can vape it, but I also kind of feel the tickle in the back of my throat. I just don't mind it as much as other people, but I can definitely tell that it's going to fuck with some throats. And
it's not the first time you've had a tickle in the back of your throat. We know that.
Yeah, no, you just tape pipe cleaners to it and just jam it back there.
Maybe you need like a month worth of steeping for it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of what we're talking about, or what I was talking about a little bit is like, okay, so the passion fruit's pretty aggressive. The yogurt hasn't really came together. I could use like maybe a little bit more tartness in the yogurt to kind of sell the yogurt thing, but like, I'd be really interested to know how this tastes after a couple months.
A couple months, not even like a couple weeks.
Yeah, just because like kind of what I mean, and again, this is completely theory crafting and it's easy for me to say since I'm not actually making these recipes. But part of me wanted to know what would happen if you put like an actual like butyric acid heavy kind of yogurt flavor that has a little bit more tang to it along with that bright passion fruit and then just let it sit for a while and kind of come together, because I feel like the thickness and the tang from the butyric acid, as soon as that kind of vomity thing dies down, by that point the passion fruit may have settled down a little bit, but that's all just theoretical. I kind of want to know what happens with this kind of profile if you allow for just a crazy long steep on it, because it might have some legs, but yeah, vaping this after like a week isn't really working for me.
And how about the coconut?
The coconut's good. I get a little bit of coconut around the edges. I think if you wanted to push the coconut a little bit more, I definitely wouldn't mind that, but I liked the coconut where it was too. Like, I feel like
I like the coconut where it was too, but I'm roboting out.
Yeah, Dave's dead now. I feel like I can't handle the pressure of being the only person who's tried all these recipes on the stream. So please, for the love of God, come back, Dave.
I really would have thought that all the creams would have like mellowed the passion fruit out, because I mean that's a lot of like vanillas and cream.
Well, have you guys ever eaten? I wonder if you guys have eaten a real passion fruit.
Yeah, but it's kind of like I've talked about it before. It's one of those tropical things. Oh, now there's two Daves. It's one of those tropical. It's one of those tropical fruits that I've had like fresh passion fruit like maybe 4 or 5 times. So I really don't even know what a real good passion fruit tastes like, which is kind of a limitation for me.
I do, and Flavor Arts tastes pretty good, but I can't vape it. It's infuriating.
Actually, Flavor Arts is pretty close, but it's missing a lot of the real tart in.
Yeah, that's what you need the Vape Train Yellow Passion for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yellow real passion fruit is really tart. As in the beginning, I mean, if you can let it over ripen and then it's a little sweeter and little less tart, but it's almost grapefruit tart when it's fresh off the tree. So I enjoy it a lot.
So I do have a message from Shindo. He says, I hope you don't think I ditched. I swear on my fucking gaming PC I didn't dodge. So he feels bad he's in a power outage.
Well, I mean, if he swears on his PC, then we have to believe.
Yeah, man. Swearing on the PC is serious.
Not just his PC, his fucking gaming PC,
right.
His exact words. So my heart goes out to you, Kyle.
We'll manage without him this one time.
Well, thank you for trying that, Dave.
I mean, I did try it because what if you had performed some sort of miracle that made Flavor Art Passion Fruit vapeable? That would have been a great leap forward in passion fruit vaping technology.
Passion fruit. I just want you to know I vape Flavor Art Passion Fruit by itself with 2% sweetener. I'm sorry, 1.5% sweetener at any given time. If I need something quick on the run, that's what I vape at 3%.
Well, if I have a glass of razors and I need somebody to drink them for me, I know who to call.
But I can't vape Flavor Art White Peach.
That's weird. They're kind of similar.
Yeah, but there's something different in the chemical compound. White Peach hurts my throat.
Weird.
And okay. I will say you're the person who got me to A, buy, B, mix with, and C, enjoy taro. So like you deserve the benefit of the doubt here, but yeah, it didn't really click for me.
Anyhow, that was fun. I knew I was gonna get sore up. I mean, I knew it. I've seen Dave talk shit about Flavor Art Passion Fruit. I was like, oh, Dave's on this one. He's gonna have fun with this one.
It is on purpose, just to be mean. I don't know why you want to be mean to me like that.
I'm not being mean to you. I was trying to make you be mean to me. We're trying to get you.
Oh, well, that's easy.
That way the haters can jump all over you. I don't have to do it. You do it to yourself.
You know what else? It also wasn't that thick for a yogurt, and the vanilla was kind of distracting. Damn.
Oh,
No.
Thing is why I like having Dave as a guest judge because he's not afraid to tell you
Anything else, Dave? Anything else? Throw it out there.
I think I might have Asperger's disorder. Causes me to.
something.
All right.
Well, now that we got that out of the way, girls, you guys should be clear.
I don't know that.
Yeah,
Who's next?
I'm not holding my hopes up.
We have 2 lemon bakeries. Do you want to do the non-lemon bakery first? We'll do Ren's recipe.
Yeah, sure. The one that tastes like a pecan pie without the pecans or the pie.
So it's just like yummy gooey stuff in the middle. That whole
Yeah, pretty much that.
Ren's warm brown goo.
Basically, yes. Sweet warm brown goo.
Will you talk about your sweet warm brown goo?
Sure. So I don't know where you're getting pecan because there's literally no pecan in it. But
That's why I said it's like the pecan is missing. It's like a pecan pie, but the pecan is missing.
yeah, I didn't want pecan in it.
That's kind of what the picture is, the sugar pie.
Kind of, yeah.
So, I mean, points for accuracy.
Yep.
I don't care what any of you say. I thought it was okay. Anyway, so I used Churro by Jungle Flavors because it's a cinnamon sugar thing that I just hadn't tried yet. And I got it like the day before. So I figured I'd use it. And cookie dough I use, which sounds weird, but for me, all I get from that flavor is brown sugar. And I don't really like brown sugar flavorings. So I use that. English toffee I added just to add sweetness and kind of the sticky factor. I used a very small amount of Flavor West pie crust because if I didn't, people would complain that I didn't put a pie crust on it. And the toffee ice cream by Vape Train I put in just to add more toffee note and a little bit of cream.
I don't think this was bad at all. Just throwing that out there. I actually really enjoyed this kind of for what it was. I think when we're saying like it's like a pecan pie without the pecans and without the pie, like I don't think that's a knock at all. I think it was actually really well.
It's just a description. It's not a complaint.
Yeah. So you're talking about like that sugar pie, that kind of brown sugary thing, and just vaping this, I think what I get most is like a big hit of brown sugar and kind of a creamy molasses flavor with a little bit of spice to it. It's very good. It's like really well built for that kind of flavor. I don't know if it's the like sort of vague maple notes from the cookie dough doing it along with the other like brown sugary kind of things, but it does kind of have almost like a raisiny sort of molasses sweetness to it that adds a good bit of depth. So like I feel like the filling here, it's just creamy enough. It's definitely kind of warm with the spices and stuff. And I think like the filling of a sugar pie, I think you've got that really accurately down.
I could vape it all day if it wasn't summer. Just not the kind of thing that you normally say about a profile like this.
Yeah. Well, it's either that or go like a pumpkin pie, which also isn't very summery, and I don't like pumpkin pie flavorings. And I didn't want to do like another apple pie type thing because I've already done like 2 of them. So
yeah, it's like the bakery notes from the churro. Like I haven't tried that by itself, but I was worried like it'd have too much like a distinct like churro kind of fried note, but that just blends right in and you just get like a little bit of body and spice from it. I think overall, I think this recipe in terms of like a competition thing or whatever, I think it suffers the most in kind of like what I'm not getting out of it, because while I feel like you've got that very solid, very tasty sort of warm brown sugar molasses kind of goo. I can completely see why you didn't add the pie crust in there, but yeah, it does just taste like kind of more like the filling, and I don't necessarily think that any of the pie crust thing is coming across, which was your point, but yeah.
I mean, the pie crust flavor is in there, but you can taste her disdain for it.
If it's flavorless pie crust, that needs to be like at 1 or 2 normally, right? Like, isn't that the normal amount that people use?
I usually use it with another pie crust because it's so dark, and I kind of want another pie crust to be the lighter part and this to be a little bit closer to the edges.
Okay.
Rather than trying to get all of it from Flavor West. I am not confusing my pie crust, right?
I don't know. I heard you had to mix it low, and I heard TFA's was garbage. So,
I mean, to be fair, I think both of them are mostly garbage.
well, I was hoping the churro would add a little bit of that element because churros, they're deep fried, whatever they are.
Oh,
You could have gone with FA apple pie with this, since you've got.
that's what I would have done.
I didn't want to do apple though.
Like I get no apple from that.
Yeah, there's no apple. If you keep
I get apple on it, but I guess I'm sensitive to the apple notes, so I get it. I mean, I can taste the sweetness of the apple in it.
Yeah, and I think apple pie, like the one thing I've noticed with apple pie is if I try it by itself, I don't really get any apple. I have like maybe picked out a little bit when it's paired up against other things, a little bit of a fruity note. But I feel like with that kind of like molassesy, like raisiny fruitness, I don't think it necessarily would have done anything bad with the recipe. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this one for kind of what it was instead of like coming up with some bullshit narrative about what had to be in this kind of profile. I think it's really solid and worth a mix if you're into that kind of profile.
Nice.
I think it needs to steep a little bit longer than the week I gave it. That molassesy thing is just a little bit sharp on top.
And maybe less time than my couple of years, right?
It doesn't taste like it's a recipe issue. It just tastes like it's a steeping issue. Like I gave it I mixed it up on Tuesday morning and it's now Sunday. So maybe it just needs another few days.
Yeah. And they're saying like
another few days.
They're saying like treacle tart in the chat or whatever. And yeah, I could definitely see it for that kind of thing. And yeah, because it's like an established profile or whatever. And if you need like a treacle tart or if you need like a sugar pie kind of filling, this is definitely a good place to work from.
Awesome.
So yeah, no, and that's the other thing we were talking about too, is like after trying this, Dave said, you should just dump a bunch of Tatanka in there and let it sit for a month and see what happens. Like, I think that would be a really interesting recipe.
Tobacco sugar pie.
You gotta ruin everything with tobacco.
Tatanka's yummy.
That's the plan. Ruin everything with tobacco, especially your life.
I mean, it's the greatest mixing crutch because, like, screw it, add some tobacco, whatever.
Yeah. You don't know what to do with this flavor? Put it in tobacco.
Because you have people who actually care about and know about tobaccos, and then you have hacks like me that just add tobacco to things randomly. So,
whenever you can add tobacco to my passion fruit.
No, that's not something I'm gonna be doing. No. Come to think of it, I just went through about 15 passion fruit flavors for noted, and there's not a single one of them I would want to mix with a tobacco.
No.
That sounds like a challenge.
That is a challenge, Rick. I'm waiting patiently for your passion fruit cigar recipe.
With a beer.
Yeah, all I would do is take that normal cigarillo base and maybe try to like tame it down with some coconut and hope it comes together in 2 months. Even I have my limits.
What passion fruit would you use for that though?
Passion fruit tobacco? I mean, I feel like you might as well just ride the dragon and go with some FA.
Might as well, right? You want that kind of punch in the throat with tobacco.
Although Flavoras would go.
Yeah, and I would pick
has
up
a
some of
little
those.
bit more. Yeah, there's more of a, I don't know.
Milder?
Yeah, but there's a note to it that I find when I mix that with the Thai chai and then a tobacco, it actually seems to work quite well.
Oh, that's weird. I don't know if that would taste like passion fruit tobacco or just a really weird tobacco.
It's weird, but it's yummy.
It's like it's a tobacco with a passion fruit flavor in it, but is it a passion fruit tobacco?
I also throw pink guava in there too.
You're just out of control, is what you're
Fuck yeah.
Now he's on board. Why don't you put some hops in there too?
Oh, you people are speaking my language now.
I'm not a fan of the hops. It's just a little too much unless I'm going for something specific with that note in it.
Yeah, but he likes it,
I
so
know he could throw it in there, yeah.
I'm a big fan of too much on everything. So
Nothing in moderation.
We share that too much gene.
yeah. So doing the lemon bakeries, I guess we'll probably start out with Jen's, if that's cool.
Yeah, of course.
Okie dokie.
All right. So you've already said that you can't taste or smell anything, but will you walk us through your recipe?
Well, I wanted to go with lemon that would stick, and I felt fizzy sherbet had that sticking quality to it, and it would blend with the frosting with a bit of a dry powderiness, and then a shortbread cookie. I've never had the Girl Scout cookies, so I have no idea what they taste like. I was taking a stab in the dark that the frosting was lemon and that the cookies were shortbread. I don't know if it's the other way around.
No, you had it right, but your recipe actually tastes. Girl Scouts used to have or still have 2 different lemon cookies, and one is those lemon shortbread sandwich cookies, right? Where it's 2 pieces of shortbread with lemon cream in the middle.
Yeah, that looked like what the picture was.
What the recipe tastes like their other lemon cookie, which is like a big piece of shortbread that's got lemon baked inside of it, and then powdered sugar all over the outside. Have you seen those too?
Yeah, I've never had either of them because I'm not a fan of eating lemon cookies.
I thought you were about to say you're not a fan of Girl Scouts. Like, what is wrong with you?
I love
Girl
Samoas.
Scouts.
I like Samoas. I like Thin Mints. I like the peanut butter ones. Anything else, I'm not.
Tagalongs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tagalongs. I like
Yeah,
those.
that's my jam.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. We got 2 3-flavor lemon cookie recipes, and one of them tastes like the Savannah Smiles, and the other one tastes like the Lemonades. And this is the Savannah Smiles one.
Well, hey, I hit a cookie.
Yeah, no, you hit a cookie. It was really cool. No,
Have you ever worked with Inaware shortbread before, or was that one
No,
of the flavors?
that was the first time I used it too. I was like, I hope I can taste this. Nope.
well, for being a complete shot in the dark, I feel like it actually works pretty well. So 3-flavor recipe, right? You have the shortbread, which is like providing like your kind of like buttery shortbread base, and I think it's working for the most part. I definitely get a shortbread out of it. And then there is a lot of Favora frosting, which is bringing some sweetness.
Holy crap! I couldn't believe how much Favora frosting she put in there.
It's good though.
I couldn't taste it.
No, it's good, and it's not that strong. It doesn't take over. It kind of soaks into the shortbread.
Yeah, it really needed that. I wanted a lot of frosting flavor because it looks like it's, packed with frosting like an Oreo.
It's very sweet.
That's good without any sweetener.
No sweetener. Very sweet.
Yeah, absolutely no sweetener needed. And then the fizzy sherbet I think is a really, really interesting choice, and for exactly the reason you said, like you want something that stick around that was kind of dry. And yeah, it does exactly that. It sticks around and it's kind of dry, and it kind of helps to take that big wad of frosting sweetness that you have and kind of like dry it out a little bit and push like a really forward sort of lemon lime flavor. The fizzy sherbet in here was the most surprising part, because I hadn't thought about trying that with a bakery at all, and it turns out it actually works pretty well.
I was surprised how much lemon was present, or how much citrus was present with just that much fizzy sherbet and all that frosting.
Well, I have tried fizzy sherbet with a couple different things, and I have done it with a bakery, but I used it with an additional lemon because I'm like, I think this lemon will stick around longer than the, FA lemon that's in the front. That will be like shake and vape, and then you'll have a little bit of the lemon from the fizzy sherbet left over. And I could taste it at like 1%, and it was strong. So I was like, well, let's go with about this much. Let's mix it by smell and hope it works.
Was all that frosting kind of enough to like bring it out of the powdery vibe?
No, it was still like, that's the thing. Like fizzy sherbet is such
like a cookie covered in powdered sugar.
Yeah.
Fizzy sherbet,
like those Savannah Smiles, right? Is that what
yeah.
they're called?
Yeah, fizzy sherbet is such a weird damn flavor, because I have ridden that all the way up high and I've used it really, really low. And I still can't tell what the freaking difference is between the two, except for maybe some extra texture. Like it's remarkably present at a low percentage, but you can also drag it up insanely high too. like I continue to be fucking mystified by that flavor, but I feel like this was a really cool application of it.
Well, I was going to use 3% one-on-one frosting, but I figured not everybody's going to have that, and I was trying to go with what's available at Bull City and eSig Express, and they don't have those. So I figured I'd throw Flavoras in, and when I did it, it was like, this needs a little bit more, so I added like 0.75% extra in it.
Yeah, it's one of those things like looking at a recipe and thinking 3.75% frosting or whatever, like it seems like a lot, but in the context of the recipe, I think it works well.
Nice.
Yeah, trying to compete with 3% shortbread cookie. I thought that was kind of high, but I'm like, well, I don't know how to work with this one, so let's just
Lean into it, as Rick says, you know?
Let's
Just
go
fucking
for it.
roll with it. Yeah. I guess one of the things that makes this recipe work so well is how aggressive that fizzy sherbet is. And I think that's kind of like, I guess maybe even my biggest knock on it, is that I think the more you vape it, while at first you get like that, this is exactly what it's supposed to be. You got the shortbread cookie and like a drier frosting with like some clear, strong lemon notes. It gets a little bit bitter after you really dig into it. And I think that's what I think that's the fizzy sherbet's doing. So like, it's a good choice for like the first impression, and then it kind of gets maybe a little bit wearing over time.
I think adding just a little bit of sweetener would probably help that. I was aiming for a 3-flavor recipe. So I didn't add sweetener.
Didn't
Yeah, I didn't add sweetener, but you could probably throw in, a 0.5% of sweetener in there, 1%, and it would probably tone it down a bit.
And did you notice that when Concrete was talking, a next point, he closes his eyes again? I mean, I just noticed that this time that he does that when he's talking, when he's using the negative parts, he just can't. It's like he cringes as he says it.
Come on, leave
He's like, I'm too nice. I don't want to look at you while I'm being mean.
I'm a finely tuned engine of guilt and shame. Okay. Shout out to my parents.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. But no, I really enjoyed this, and I also really enjoyed testing this in the context of testing this next to Emily's recipe, because like, again, I've said it before, but 2 different 3-flavor lemon cookie recipes, and it's really fucking interesting to see exactly how different they are, and they're going in a similar profile in completely different ways. It's really, really fun.
That's why I love how this show is, how it's evolved into, just the same picture, and how like you can have 4 completely different recipes after like the same profile. And a couple of us maybe did the same similar styles, but they're just with the choices of flavors used and stuff, they can be completely different. And I think that's really neat to see.
And it's super neat to see when you guys use just a few flavors and make it work, and you didn't end up with the same few flavors. When it's a short little recipe, it's a quick little banger, but it's totally different. I need to master the art of the ingredients.
Hey, you only used 6 this time. Like, we thought this was some sort of trick, because seriously, you had the most flavors with 6. Like, this was a super easy round to mix up, so thank you for that.
That's super basic for Jen.
I get brownie points for that, right, Dave?
Yes, I guess.
If I'm going to torture you, I didn't want to hit you with 9 ingredients to do it.
Question is, what am I going to do with this bottle of liquid now? I think find an unsuspecting victim, I guess.
Put it in some
I
water.
have some good recipes for it.
Make like a flavored water.
I'm probably going to put it in the free first come, first serve box.
There you go.
What is it?
Her recipe or the box?
The flavor you're gonna throw away.
Juice Fairy's passion fruit throat murder thing.
Oh, so it's a completed thing.
Yeah.
I find this entire concept fascinating, that you've managed to buffalo all of these hogs into just taking your scraps.
You just have to find somebody that's got a nice hearty throat to take the flavor heart passion fruit.
Hey, I gave out a box of my stuff on Friday to somebody at work that just started vaping, and they went to the vape shop and they bought 1 juice, and it was disgusting. And she was like, "Well, I paid $30 for that." I said, "I got I got something for you. I came home. I said, now I'll tell you, half of these bottles don't have labels. I don't know what the hell's in it. They smell kind of good, and I have no idea. The nicotine's anywhere between 3 and a 6. Good luck. Here you go.
Yeah, so whenever I have leftovers like from the single flavor test and recipes that I'm just done with or whatever, or failed awful mistakes that I make, I just toss them in this box that I've got behind me. When the box fills up, I post it on local Facebook groups and like picture of it. Box of juice free, first come, first serve. And they like fight each other over it.
So people take their single flavor test and then they'll come back for more?
Yes.
What the heck?
I know, right? And they're just like...
People love free stuff.
I just love the idea of these like peons fighting for my scraps.
I don't even put that on people. I just throw them out.
I know. I tend to just toss bottles that are like, I'm never vaping this. Out it goes.
I'm not making anybody vape this.
I gave it
It's
to them.
the closest thing that it's the closest I'll ever be to being like a rich person in a walled castle in some post-apocalyptic future where everyone's like just throw out some garbage and all the peasants like rifle around through it trying to find something edible. So it makes
I just love the imperiousness of it too, because I could totally see you playing it up. Here, take my scraps. Which, like, I don't know how y'all mix, but most of my stuff that gets thrown out is really fucking bad. So either they've got horrible taste or you're all much better at mixing than I am.
Well, I throw those away. I do have some really awful stuff that goes in the garbage.
Yeah, the stuff that's relegated to drain juice.
Now, the person who got my Savory Week single flavor samples probably hasn't come back. I didn't.
Probably, what the heck is this guy doing to me?
Like, look, this bottle has absolutely no label. I know what it is because I've been vaping on it, but I'll find bottles that have this much gone out of it, and I don't know what the hell's in it, and I'll smell it. It smells good, but I don't feel like vaping it. Those are the ones I give away, and then I'm like, I don't know. Here. The color tells me it's about a 6.
Oh, let's see. I've got the same thing. This is what I'm vaping. I've got 2 here that have no labels that I know I put too much melon in rather than strawberry because I grabbed the wrong bottle.
My gosh, you people need to label stuff.
This one has label. I have the actual recipe on this one.
I can't.
That's pretty cool.
To not have something labeled. Like it gets a label as soon as I'm done mixing.
I get these bottles from Liquid Barn. You see those? And they have their labels on them, so I just have to write on them in pen, and it's nothing.
That's convenient.
Yeah. I have good intentions about remembering what's in a bottle if I don't label it, and then it sits on my desk for 3 days, and I promptly forget what the fuck's in there, and I'm horrified when I pick it back up.
I mean, this was tobacco. It smells really good. I don't know what it is, and I do want to vape it, but I don't even know how much nicotine I put in it.
I hope it's not one of your pod vape attempts.
That's really not good.
Payback for the passion fruit.
Why don't you go ahead and vape that right now? Let's see.
No, I have no idea what it is. I mean, it smells good, but I don't know how much nicotine.
The amount of nicotine you use, you need to make sure you label that.
I know it's got nicotine because of the color, but I have no idea how much.
Some. That's an accurate measurement. Some.
No, it could be a pod, and then I throw it on a patty. I'm fucked.
The absolute worst is like I tend to chase some tangents sometimes that just like pop up or whatever, like not even working on something, just like, hey, I wonder what happens when I do this, and like 9 times out of 10 it's fucking garbage, and if I don't get rid of it right away, I will pick it back up and just be even more disgusted with myself.
It actually feels like a 3 on my tongue, so probably safe.
So the last recipe for today was Emily's lemon cookie recipe. Emily, would you like to walk us through that one?
Sure. So basically, I had just tried Wonder Flavor's lemon squares, and I really, really enjoyed the flavor. So I just wanted to use it and highlight it in this recipe. I wanted, like, the lemon squares just kind of has like a thin, soft baked, like lemon bar type crust, and I wanted to turn it more into a cookie. So I used 2% Jungle Flavors biscuit because it's a little bit lighter and blonder than Innoware biscuit. But yeah, I wanted that buttery, like shortcake type, like in the picture. And then I used 1% Effie lemon just because like I really like the lemon note in the lemon squares flavor, but I wanted it to last a little bit longer, and two, just be a little bit brighter. So and I didn't think it needed anything else. And you know me, I like being simple, kind of to the point. To me, like the less ingredients you have in a mix, the more the ingredients you do have can shine and really showcase what they can do. So that was my thought on this recipe.
Yeah, it's good. Although I think it's kind of funny because while Jarvis made the Savannah Smiles, you definitely made like a lemon sandwich cookie. Like what I got out of it was more along the lines of like one of those vanilla Oreo things with like a lemon filling in it. Like the JF biscuit seemed like there was a decent amount of richness to it, but it seemed a little bit harder, and it kind of reminded me more of like one of the Oreo style cookies rather than actual shortbread. The lemon flavor though, I don't know how it wouldn't come through with 1% FE lemon. But it was definitely very out there, very present. I feel like the lemon that you're getting from the lemon squares along with the FE lemon really did kind of like punch through that lemon sort of flavor. I'm waiting for Dave to have an opinion.
Oh, I am supposed to have an opinion. I like lemon bakeries. That's my it's really good. I don't know that that lemonade cookies are that lemony, but I'm okay with it because I like the lemon. It's a good tasting lemon. I like the way it really makes the case for Jungle Flavors biscuit, because you'll get people saying, well, can't I just sub in a Ware biscuit? Or no, that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
It just, like you said, it's blonder, it's gentler, it's more like a shortbread. If you had put in a Ware at the same amount, especially, it would be way too dry. It would have too much AP-ness. I just wanted to be able to say that again. and maybe some little weird coconut stuff going on around the edges too. So good use of biscuit, of the Jungle Flavors biscuit, the right biscuit for the job in this case.
Yeah, like I think I would use Innoware biscuit if it was just part of a cookie layer, but because like it's like the main note, I didn't want it to be too obtrusive, you know? Like,
yeah, it wouldn't have worked like that. That's what I'm saying. This is why you need Jungle Flavors biscuit to be one of the flavors that you own.
Yep.
So stuff like this.
For the lemon too, I do think that lemon is kind of wholly appropriate. And like, while it might be a little bit stronger than the lemon in an actual cookie, like I feel like even though I don't get a distinct cream component out of here, the actual lemon flavor is fairly creamy.
Yeah, that Wonder Flavors lemon squares. One of the reasons I really love it so much is because it's a real like a creamy, like curdy type lemon flavor. And so it's like the cream in between those cookies, you know?
Yeah, it works.
I feel like you're kind of like, and like one of the things I like about this recipe is I think it bumps up against the line of this is too much lemon and stops just right on the short side of it, which I really appreciate, because that is a bold ass lemon flavor, but it's a little bit creamier, it's a little bit softer, and it doesn't go over that very thin line into like kind of pledgy. It's just a very strong, pronounced lemon flavor that works well with that kind of like shortbread crispy cookie thing going on.
I would also think that this one sticks around too. Like it's not going to be quite as strong as it is the first week, but it's going to mellow out a little bit. But you're still going to get. I have lemon in me.
Yeah.
I would imagine. I don't see it going anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I didn't test the lemon squares enough to know like if it fades like a lot of other lemons do, but I know a lot of other lemons do fade. So I wanted to just kind of ensure that the lemon wasn't going anywhere. So.
Yeah, you guys don't have a lot of time to make these.
Yeah.
So I could see where, just to be on the safe side with lemons, the way that they fade, you almost have to just go ahead and assume that it's going to drop off a bit. Put that FE lemon in there.
Yeah, so, 2 weeks out of the year, we're making a recipe.
I guess like my only real criticism I think of the recipe is like I liked how close it was getting to that sort of like lemon sandwich cookie thing, but and in talking with Shindo a little bit before the show, I think we're both kind of in the same boat that maybe it could use a touch more vanilla to kind of sell like those cookies maybe just a little bit more. I feel like maybe even something that kind of represented a little bit more of that like hydrogenated whipped lard thing that the sandwich cookies usually have.
Yeah, I was really thinking. I was contemplating using like something like Capella vanilla whipped cream or something like
That's
that.
exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That would have been a good one here. Yeah. Certainly. Or you could have just taken Mills's Golden Oreo and added 1% Effie lemon to that and called it a day. That would.
I could have.
I mean, I don't know if you're into like completely ripping off and stealing recipes on Mixin Vixens, but if you were, then that would be a thing that you could have done, and it would have been probably just as good. But this is a different way of getting there that works.
So like, assuming you were kind of going in that lemon sandwich cookie direction, I think ultimately like without that sort of extra creamy component, it kind of tastes a little bit like the Hydrox version of that kind of cookie. But if I was looking to buy a bottle of something that said lemon sandwich cookie and I took this down off a shelf with some extra sweetener, I would so not be mad about this. I feel like for 3 flavors, this is a really well put together recipe.
Awesome.
If I had a company that sold recipes, this would be the one that I would sell, because it would be the one that people would not be disappointed by.
Well, good. That makes me happy.
So Kyle isn't here for the official announcement or whatever, but I think after trying this round of recipes, I think we are going to give the win to Emily.
Yay!
Yeah, it was close though. It was really close, all except for the one that was disqualified.
I'm glad to oblige, Dave. Glad to have made this round a little bit interesting for you and not so close.
Yeah, it definitely livened it up a little, so thank you.
Instead of a clear winner, we had a clear exiter.
The recipe didn't lose. It was just disqualified because it was impossible to enjoy it.
No, I mean, it's that's the thing. Like, I feel like the other 3 recipes were actually pretty tightly grouped, and I think that Emily's accessibility just kind of put it over the top for me. But that passion fruit yogurt profile, like, it's kind of a waking nightmare of a profile, and I really wanted you to nail it, you know?
Well, next time. I'll try it next time.
It's like, yeah, yogurt's hard. Passion fruit is a nightmare. I was hoping it was like the stars were going to align and everything was going to click. But yeah, thank you for letting us try another round of recipes.
I didn't even mix one of those passion fruit yogurt recipes.
Because it just screams bad idea, but she's all over it.
I don't have time. It's just not going to happen.
Well, I mean, they submitted the picture. It had to be tried.
Yeah. No, and it was a valiant attempt, even if Dave disdains you for doing it.
I mean, we're mortal enemies now, but sure, why not?
Guys, thank you so much for coming on. We always love you guys coming on and judging our recipes. It kind of just makes it a whole lot more fun to have, a little competitiveness. And Dave being our special guest, thank you so much. And if you would like, we'd love to have you on again.
Yeah, I'll come back.
We'll
as long as she doesn't do that to me again. Thank you.
What else hurts your throat?
TPA Juicy Peach.
I don't think we have any more passion fruit submissions, so I think you're safe.
Okay.
And I don't like peach. So I don't like TFA Juicy Peach.
So do you have problems with watermelons too, Dave?
None.
No.
I have problems with the way some of them taste, but they don't.
Because I get the throat thingy from watermelons and peaches sometimes. I was just wondering.
What is that one Flavora flavor? Persimmon.
Dude, persimmon.
Holy crap.
I can't vape that at all.
Drives me crazy because when I smell it, I'm like, oh God, it smells so good. And then you mix it up and vape it. Like, no! Why?
Pretty much.
Have you tried NTS Vape Wizard on it?
No, I have not.
I've tried Triacetin and Vape Wizard, and none of it helped.
Yeah, it's soggy and harsh then.
Yeah. It's soggy, harsh, and kind of powdery muted. And it's weird, and it's like, no, this is just not working. I wanted to love that flavor. It smelled so good.
Yeah, I like it, and it does not hurt my throat. At 0.25% with other things.
You got a throat of iron, sweetheart.
I guess, because I do vape. I do get.
I mean, I tried real hard not to make any dirty jokes.
I couldn't.
Yes, because I do vape regular nicotine, free-based nicotine at 12 in my pods, and it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore either.
So next time we're going to have a persimmon, peach, and passion fruit sorbet.
Sure.
It's
Wait till
just
they-
nice to know that a juice fairy can stick just about anything down her throat. It doesn't hurt her.
I don't like throat hit. Develop.
You can't make it one show.
We got to make Emily blush.
I didn't do it this time.
Emily's face is priceless.
You know, asking Davon though is just asking him for trouble. I mean, I need to have learned this by now. All right. Thank you so much again. Thank you to our sponsors. We got Isig Express in Bull City, and thank you to Scott over all the flavors. Thank you for Wayne for putting us on your network. You're a peach, and we'll see you next week. Oh, what are we doing next week? I don't know, JJ, if you have the picture that we're doing next.
No, I don't have the picture up. It's
Okay, well,
I can describe it. It's a strawberry with a cream layer and a pastry outside.
it's like a cake.
It's
right?
it's like a little strawberry shortcake kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, so help me God, I'm taking that judging period off if you people pick that.
What's wrong with that?
I would rather vape 4 passion fruit, coconut, yogurt monstrosities than deal with another strawberry vape.
Well, we have some other interesting pictures next month, so relax.
Are you gonna have internet issues or power outages too?
Yeah, and I'm not swearing on my gaming PC, so. No, seriously, I like how normal people are like, no, I swear on whoever's life. No, it's fine. We know where his priorities are. Thank you for having us on.
Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
See you tomorrow, Emily.
Bye.
See you tomorrow, Dave.